Okay, so as of right now, we actually have over 44.5 million immigrants residing in the United States, and according to the Migration Policy Institute, also called MPI, this has been actually exponentially increasing since the 1970s. But as of 2019, almost 50% of Americans are actually afraid of immigration, and actually the immigrants that come to the United States, and the percentage of people that are fearing immigrants is actually rising after recent elections. Many Americans fear the idea of allowing refugees in, but research has proven there's actually a net economic gain to allowing immigrants to come to the United States. So today, I will provide you the problem with today's society, which is basically immigration, and the simple solution to all of this, which is allowing more qualified immigrants to come to the United States. The issues at hand is that a lot of Americans fear for their jobs, their land, their property being stolen from immigrants, but in reality, these people will actually do anything and everything to succeed in America. So the biggest problem is that the U.S. is hurting itself by restricting immigrants to not come in. Like I noted previously, people see immigration as a security risk. Certain policies have been passed to restrict access for outsiders wanting to join the land of the free. As of September 24, 2017, according to NAFTA, President Trump issued Travel Ban 3.0, which actually restricts access from these 7 countries: Iran, Libya, North Korea, Syria, Venezuela, Yemen, and Somalia. President Trump has also promised to build a wall between the United States and Mexico, promising to keep immigrants out and have Mexico pay for it, but they haven't. This wall will actually cost around $25 billion to build. In addition to security risk, many Americans believe that the government loses money from supporting refugees, or supporting or sponsoring refugees, sorry. The average refugee costs $20,000 just for their first year. The State Department spent more than $500 million on processing and reselling refugees around the United States. And finally, Americans believe that immigrants will take our jobs at lower wages. Immigrants are more likely to take jobs at a lower wage than the average American, driving American workers away from the industry. According to the Bush Center, lower income workers are generally first to be displaced. Research also suggests that any negative effects are concentrated around low-skilled workers and not the high-skilled workers. So while the following points that I said earlier are true, they don't really tell the full story. So allowing refugees, not just any refugees, more qualified refugees into the country may seem harmful at first economically, but they actually benefit us in the long run. So immigrants are actually safer than the average public in the United States. According to the Journal of Ethnicity in Criminal Justice, researchers found that there was actually a reduction of 5 violent crimes per 100,000 residents for every 1% increase in the foreign population. So you have gateway cities like New York City, Chicago, and Miami. They actually have lower crime rates in areas with high immigrant populations. And newcomer immigrants usually populate rough neighborhoods, but eventually turn around those neighborhoods to become better by creating a labor market and creating a better social institution in that area. So in Houston, it actually has the largest undocumented population in the United States, but according to Police Chief Art Avenciedo, he points out that most violent crimes are by people that are actually born and raised in the United States and not by the immigrants that come here. So like I said earlier, immigrants actually benefit the economy. According to the Center for Global Development, Sponsorship Act costs on average $20,000 a person, but after a few years, that person is giving back to the government $21,000 a year. On average, each sponsorship is a good investment for the country itself as a whole. So according to the Bush Center, immigration fuels the economy. So when immigrants enter the labor force, they increase productive capacity in the economy and actually raise the GDP. And they do that better than the natives here in America. This is a phenomenon called immigration surplus. And while there's a small share of additional GDP accrues to natives, typically like 0.2 to 0.4%, it still amounts to $36 to $76 billion a year. So in this image, you see that by allowing more immigrants, and we have a 0.9% increase of GDP, $1,700 per capita income, and we actually decrease our debt by $2.7 trillion. And then in the next image, So this shows that as we let more people in, it's just a positive increase of GDP again, and actually unemployment falls as more immigrants come into the United States. So according to Hippolyte Dalbus, I honestly can't pronounce that, sorry, an economist from Paris School of Economics, within 2 years of an influx of migrants, unemployment rates dropped significantly and economic health increases due to immigrants' increased market demand, service providing, and they actually add jobs and pay their taxes. So according to this database article, the economic benefits of comprehensive immigration reform, the real wages of newly legalized workers can generate up to $5.4 billion in addition net tax revenue, which can support almost 1 million new jobs for the economy. So in conclusion, as I mentioned previously, America overall has seen immigration as negative and has only downsides to allowing more people in. But hopefully after today, you've seen the positive impacts of allowing more immigrants to come to the United States. By giving them the access to succeed, we as a country grow stronger economically and mentally. It's important to see past all the news you see ruining immigration's image, and America's foundation is based on immigration, and we're all immigrants of this land, whether you came last year or hundreds of years ago. As a last reminder, these companies are all immigrant founded right here in America. Can you even imagine your life without these companies? Especially Budweiser. And that's it.